And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Have you heard of Love Letter? Probably. There's plenty of versions out there, and everyone likes it. There was a sequel to Love Letter called Lost Legacy, which came out from Japan, and it came with 2 sets of Lost Legacy in the box. AEG split those 2 sets into different groups. Today we're talking about one of those, Lost Legacy: The Flying Garden. This is a single game from that original Japanese one that was split into 2. This way, when you buy it, you don't. The 2 sets weren't necessarily compatible. You could mix and match them if you wanted, but they were made to work together. This is an easier one, and I know some people complained that they split them, but I think it's better this way. And also, you can decide which of the Lost Legacy games you want to get. Is this one that you should get? Well, let's see how it plays first, and we'll be back. And Lost Legacies, all the different games of it, work the same way. You're going to shuffle the 16 card deck. You'll take one of these cards, stick it in the middle of the table. That card is called the runes. Everybody else is going to draw a card. This is the card that's in your hand. On your turn, you will draw another card. Look at the 2 cards, choose one of them to play or to discard. And so here I discard a wound, which is pretty much a terrible card to discard. But if let's say I had 2 different cards, I could either get rid of the wound or the storyteller, my choice, into my discard pile, and then play passes to the next person. This will continue until either all the players are eliminated, except one, in which case that player wins, which can happen, or at the end of the game, each player is going to look at their hand, and whoever has the 1 card gets to go first. If no one has the 1 card, then whoever has the 2 card goes first, etc. And that person is trying to guess where the Lost Legacy, in this case the Flying Garden, where is the Flying Garden? They pick someone else's hand, they can pick one of the cards that's in the middle in the runes, or if they gotten to number 5, they can just say, hey, I have the Lost Legacy, and they win. If they're wrong, they're out, and we keep going until someone gets it right, or if everyone gets it wrong, then everybody loses, although I'm not sure I've ever seen that happen. You can also play a campaign game. The game comes with blue cubes that you can give to people where they get a point basically for winning, and we keep going until someone gets to a certain number of points. So what do the different cards do? There's only one number 1, but if you're about to be eliminated and you've already discarded the Saint, you can discard your hand, flip the Saint face down, and draw a card of your hand. Basically, the Saint lets you stay in the game even if you're about to be eliminated. The Necromancer takes one person's discards, puts them back in the deck. The Adventurer lets you look at 2 cards in the runes, and yes, there can be more cards in the runes, and he can switch one of those cards with your hand, which gets people very interested. What card did you just switch? The Guardian collects all the players' hands without looking at them, shuffles them, and then gives them the cards back at random. The Lost Legacy itself, if you're eliminated, or this card is discarded. So if you're forced to discard this card, you put it in the runes instead of your discards. So let's say you decide to discard it, you put it in the runes, and then you shuffle all the cards in the runes. So this card's in the middle, everyone knows it. Unless, of course, someone plays a card that lets them take it out of the runes. This lets you draw 2 cards. Extra cards, you put one into someone else's discards and another in the wounds. Of course, you can put a wound in someone else's discards, which can be kind of mean. During the investigation phase, if you have these storytellers, you get to make multiple attempts at finding the Lost Legacy for each storyteller. By the way, the number of dots up here shows you how many of each card is in the game. The Curse, you just pick another number, look at someone else's hand. If they have that number, or actually you don't, look at their hand. If they have that number, they're out of the game. And then Wounds. One wound in your discard is okay. Having 2 wounds in your discard will kill you. Bleh. Let me preface by saying that I really enjoy Lost Legacy. I think the Lost Legacy system is really good. I enjoy it actually better than I enjoy Love Letter. And I've heard that that's because I'm a gamer. Gamers tend to like Lost Legacy more. But I like trying to figure out where the Lost Legacy, in this case the Flying Garden, where is it? Now, that being said, this is my least favorite of the Lost Legacies, and I would not probably get this one given the choice. There are a few cards in it that I like, that I would maybe take and mix into other Lost Legacy sets, so there is that. You can mix them all together and pick and choose which ones you want. But there's just so much randomness in this one. Take everyone's hands, shuffle them back randomly, take someone's discards, put them back in the deck. Well, why? I mean, you're getting rid of someone's wounds and getting rid of their storytellers, and I understand how this works together, but I just found this one just kind of there. It didn't have the excitement and deduction that some of the Lost Legacy sets have. There's that one card where you name a number, and if it's in their hand, they're eliminated. And that card is fantastic and fun, and probably my favorite card of the set. But other than that, I think if I hadn't played any of the other Lost Legacies, I'd like this one more, but I have. And each of the other ones seems to have a bit more of a to them. Still, this may appeal to some people, and the artwork is pretty cool, and I like the wounds. The wounds are interesting because you're trying to keep them out of your deck. I'm just saying that this whole 16 cards, which isn't a lot, didn't congeal for me as well as some of the other Lost Legacy sets did. And I'll be reviewing all the Lost Legacy sets at one point or another, and so I'd recommend picking up one of the other ones, but yeah, not bad, but just as a set didn't appeal to me as much as the other ones did. Dice Tower Judgment, not as good as the other Lost Legacies.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Fecha a porta!